So for Oklahoma City right now, Paul George is out there with Anthony. Then there's Russell Westbrook. Then there's Brewer. And it's Adams in at the 5.
When the guy is capable of so many things like that on the offensive end, anytime you lose sight of him, he's got a huge advantage.
In the corner, George with it. Over Teague. And it's George missing. Oklahoma City on D. It's a 3-point game. Teague dishes to Towns. In the corner, Gibson with it. Towns kicks to Teague. Shot clock at 5. Here's Towns. Brewer with the steal. Outside Westbrook. 18 feet out. And Adams kicks to George. Another shot. And it's Westbrook. That time on the assist by George.
Well, the motor pushing the red line here for Westbrook. He doesn't seem to care whether he's wide open or being blanketed.
Teague, the pass to Butler. On the wing, Wiggins jacks up a 3. And another 3 for Minnesota.
Nice way to start the evening. His numbers getting called, and for good reason.
This is also one of those things where you start to think about how you're going to change your defense already. If at all possible, make someone else beat you.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Bielitsa, he's checked in for Gibson. And it's Crawford in for Jeff Teague.
The awareness of Russell Westbrook to locate the open man and deliver a strike, something he's developing.
And here is Butler after Paul. Look at that jam. I mean, just beautiful.
Now, you don't want to forget about the athleticism of Butler. Just a sick slammer of the basketball. You can't allow him to get to that launching pad.
Butler with the steal. On, here we go. Crawford all alone. Passes it to Towns. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. On the wing, Jamal Crawford. 6 to shoot. Down low, Towns. And good that time. About 3 minutes into this first quarter. Thunder trailing by 5.
Jamal Crawford, the guy who has won multiple Sixth Man of the Year awards, and a guy that comes off the bench and provides you with some instant offense, ready to shoot, and certainly ready to shake a defender with those incredible handles.
And now Minnesota on the fast break. It's hauled in by Adams. The Thunder have gone just 2 of 7 so far. A little bit of a slow start for them. Right wing, outside, George. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And for Crawford, it's a luxury to bring him off the bench.
Well, Jamal Crawford is not a high percentage shooter, but with that volume shooting, you know he has the opportunity to impact the game, coming in and scoring and getting buckets. There are a lot of people who really enjoy watching Jamal Crawford come in, putting the ball on a string, and making scoring sometimes look easy.
And the dunk by Towns.
Oh, I dunk you very much.
He can really fly, and you combine that, Greg, with some nice penetration, too, and you've got 2 points.
Jamal Crawford looking comfortable from behind the arc on that one. Tough to lock him down out there. You're worried about him driving around you.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. Rumors about Butler being traded from Chicago were circulating last season. Draft day comes around, and Minnesota Timberwolves made their move, Greg, to acquire him.
Yeah, and the more you look at it, the trade looks great for Butler and the Wolves. Reunites him with Coach Thibodeau. Joins an incredibly young core in Towns and Wiggins, and the sky's the limit, I think, for this young Wolves team.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Abrinas is checked in, and here is Adams after the 3-pointer from Jamal Crawford. Not enough on that one as it misses.
You got to fight through things like this right now. His team needs him to shoot better. He's just had a tough quarter.
Outside Butler. Pass to Towns. Launches a 3. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 3 assists in the game.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Now here's Westbrook. Outside for George. And just miss after miss right now.
Yeah, this is a terrible start for him, and it has to be weighing on him.
Crawford, that's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
And I'm loving what I'm seeing, the passion that they're playing with up and down the floor.
Outside Westbrook. And Adams kicks to George. And stolen by Wiggins. And it's Wiggins with the jam.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Just incredible flow offensively. Everyone's doing their part. Let's see if they can sustain this early momentum.
Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Steven Adams. So here's Westbrook. 1:37 left to play in the first quarter. And the pass to Abrinas. Back to Westbrook. In the corner, it's Patterson. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Here's Crawford. The dish now to Towns. No good that time. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. And here's Westbrook from the arc. And Patterson kicks to Abrinas. Patterson. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Yeah, he plays with a bit of a sixth sense around the offensive glass. Perfect position for the easy tip in.
Crawford dishes to Butler. Back to Crawford. Kicks it to Towns. Pass to Bielitsa. And stolen by Patterson. And George, here we go. Feeds it to Carmelo. And stolen by Wiggins. On, here we go. Crawford all alone. Yes, that goes in. Crawford's got 7.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Abrinas kicks to Patterson. Rebound, Minnesota. Towns with it. Westbrook picks him up. Back to Crawford. Tipped away. Stolen by Westbrook. Some solid defense from Butler.
And that's just good offense. Surprised he blew that one, and the defense is too.
No good on the buzzer beater. And so it's Minnesota with a sizable lead as the quarter wraps up. They're ahead 16 points. Their transition game has been in full effect. Right back after this break. And a guy who seems to improve every season.
It's crazy because I never thought that.
And hard to doubt the dedication of Jimmy Butler. He's found a way to overcome obstacles at each important point along the way.
You know, he's a self-made player. And if Butler can stay healthy, boy, the sky's the limit.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And quite a position here for the Timberwolves to be in. What do you think, guys?
I mean, you saw it. That barrage of threes has them grooving here after one.
Well, they found a little bit of space out there on the perimeter, and they have a shared confidence right now. That tends to breed some success for this team.
Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. Karl Anthony Towns is out there with Bielitsa, and it's Crawford at the 1 spot. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Timberwolves. No good from Grant.
That's a shot you got to step up on. Wide open, no coverage. Good shooters don't miss that often.
Crawford against Felton. Crawford outside. Taken away by Felton. Second quarter of basketball, about 1 minute played so far. Passes to Abrinas. Butler with the steal. It's Crawford with the drive. And count it. And a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Tell me if you've heard this before. Jamal Crawford, an and-one opportunity.
Brent, the stretch 4. The 3 and D players. Specialties that have emerged over the years. Any other specialties you see becoming a trend?
The one that I see as a trend, Kevin, right now is the redefining of the 5 position. To think about guys like Porzingis, Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis, being able to stretch a defense at the 5 position all the way out to the 3-point line. We're redefining what it means to be center in the NBA.
I'm sure there are traditional guys that see it and just can't believe they're watching. Huh? Right up there, hitting shot.
Yeah, most of the old guys take it to the home, Kevin. Just enjoy it while you can.
George is checked in for Oklahoma City. Towns, a screen on George. Crawford, no luck.
And there might as well have been no guy up on the pick. Nothing happened there. Can't be surprised at the results.
George passes to Patterson. Johnson kicks to George. To the wing right side. Patterson dishes to Johnson. 6 to shoot. Here's Abrinas, covered by Wiggins. Abrinas' shot is off.
It is so tough to make those kind of shots with the defense draped all over you.
And it's Butler missing. Thunder trailing by 17. Johnson goes in. And here's George for 3 with the putback. It's good on the putback. Patterson's got his second basket.
Oh, how about the deft touch right there, guys?
He just guided that ball back up and in. Just a fingertip touch on the ball. There's the feed to Crawford. Towns, the pass to Crawford. They set the pick. Second chance shot. That shot off the mark. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. And the dunk by Grant.
That is a good option. You could throw that ball just about anywhere. Even the top of the square. Jeremy Grant ripping one off.
Dishes it to Towns. Kicks it out to Crawford. This one for 3. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Crawford's got 6 points in the quarter.
Now he's torching the D right now, hitting a high percentage of all the shots he's let fly.
And George kicks to Abrinas. He feeds it to Johnson. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
And hard to decide which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
There's no wrong answer. Sensational alley-oop. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, analytics has taken over the NBA, but Minnesota coach and president of basketball operations Tom Thibodeau says it doesn't tell you everything. He said analytics can measure a lot of things, but it's very difficult to measure drive.
Timeout.
Magic is in the work. Kevin?
And Tom Thibodeau makes a good point, D.A. Analytics is certainly helpful, but it doesn't capture everything. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. Well, Towns does so many things on the floor. Already an elite post scorer. But, Greg, one area that he has struggled with at times is his defense against other bigs.
And I think he'll continue to improve in that area. What happens with young guys, though, is oftentimes you're improved how good I am mode when you're young, and you lose sight of some of the things that help you win games. And I think that's one reason why he had one of the worst defensive RPMs in the entire league. But young bigs tend to take a bit longer to develop into great defenders, and I expect he will follow in that line.
And Anthony sends it back.
How about Melo rising up quick to that one there? Nice shot block.
Pulls up. That's tipped.
Yeah, another missed opportunity, and you can just see the frustration.
Yeah, when your shot's in the fridge like this, it's easy to lose your confidence, and that's why some of the most prolific scorers, they have short-term memories.
Here's Westbrook following the basket by Andrew Wiggins. Westbrook dishes to Brewer. Grant the pass to Westbrook. Screen by Grant. Westbrook kicks to Grant. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist.
That's a lot of hard work in the offseason for Jeremy Grant to become better at the mid-range, finding some footing there.
Crawford, no one around him. Crawford missing again. Thunder trailing by 16. Anthony with it, now defended by Wiggins. Anthony with the bucket.
Artful passing on that play, showing a real desire to set up the teammate.
Westbrook against Crawford. Towns a screen on Westbrook. Crawford dishes to Towns. Back to Crawford. Trying to find Towns. Gets it to him. Pass to Bielitsa. No good that time. Great D that time from Westbrook. On the wing, Brewer. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. They get it back. Great positioning on the putback.
They are just killing them on the interior.
1:02 left in the first half. Crawford outside. Towns sets the pick for Crawford. A second chance effort, and Towns lays it in. Towns has got 4 this quarter.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Yeah, when your opponent's down and frustrated, this is when you could turn it up.
And there it is for him.
Well, when he gets into the paint, Kevin, he starts to get hungry. He goes right through the defense. He's a straight line guy.
Crawford outside. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Crawford's got 15.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
The wide open look here for Anthony from outside off the mark. And here's Crawford. 4 seconds left, and he makes the bucket through contact and gets the whistle too.
This is what Jamal Crawford does. He comes in the game, and he's a professional scorer.
He made the only free throw attempt he had earlier in the game.
And last season, 86% from the line. So he's always had that calm presence at the line, no matter.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the halftime show on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson. We saw Jamal Crawford lighting it up in the first half. He had 18 points and 5 assists. And, Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
Well, they just about ran their offense to perfection.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan.
The buildings of downtown Minneapolis all lit up on this lovely evening. Welcome back, everyone, to the Twin. Thunder trailing by 17. And a bit of a bittersweet question for you, Brent. We know you spent so many years with the Sonics who eventually were uprooted and became this Thunder team. How badly would you like to see Seattle get a basketball team again?
I think it's the NBA's mission to get back to Seattle. And under Adam Silver, he's asked questions about the return to the Emerald City. And I think it's going to happen, Kevin. If it does, I'd love to be a part of what the organization does up there. I do miss the PNW. That's the Pacific Northwest.
And on the floor for Billy Donovan as we get into the second half. On the wings, Abrinas and George. Anthony is out there with Adams. And it's Westbrook in at the point guard. Adams down low. He's against Chang, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Brent, when you think back to some of your favorite teammates in your 14-year career, what characteristics do those guys tend to have?
I think about 2 things, Kevin. The first is competitive drive. You always are drawn to guys who on a daily basis just want not only their team to be their best, but they want to be their best. That's an attractive quality. And secondly, probably the idea about where basketball sits in terms of the priority in your life. I always appreciated guys who could go do their work, separate from their work, and enjoy the time in the moment that they had with teammates, with family, with friends. That kind of balance, to me, is an attractive quality.
And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. Crawford outside. Just 5 on the clock. There's the pass to Georges Hunt. Tries again. And Crawford finishes inside. Crawford's got 7 points here in this quarter.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And here's Anthony from the arc. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook.
Can't allow that much separation, even as the pass is coming his way. Try and crowd Carmelo as best you can.
And here we go with Westbrook running it up the court. Oh, and the jam by Westbrook.
And nicely done, running the floor well, then attacking the rim.
The exclamation point in transition with the high percentage finish.
He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. He's on his way to the free throw line.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
And the Timberwolves making a change here.
I love the complementary aspect of this group now. You know, you've got the young talent, but you've brought in some veteran leadership here for the Timberwolves. The duo of Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns kind of gave the confidence to them to go out and acquire a superstar in his prime like Jimmy Butler.
And Butler gets it to go.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Outside for George. It's tipped. Oklahoma City moving it around. The dish to Crawford. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Adams has got his third rebound on the night. And Greg, the core of this Timberwolves team is Wiggins and Towns. And, you know, rarely do you get to see two #1 overall picks team up early in their careers.
And how about back-to-back years, no less. But I consider Jimmy Butler kind of a foundational piece as well. He's in the conversation for the best shooting guard in our league.
Towns, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Teague comes in for Jamal Crawford. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And I like this timeout. You're getting terrible rim protection right now.
Well, you got to ask your team to give you a little bit more effort because there's just not a lot of fire on the defensive end.
For the Thunder, Patterson, he's checked in for Steven Adams. Jeremy Grant comes in for Anthony. And it's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. George against Wiggins. And George, here we go, and fouled as he went up to the dunk. Good aggressive move, and he'll shoot two.
Well, when Paul George announced this summer that he intended to leave for the Lakers when the contract ran out, you knew what was coming. Even as a rental possibility, the suitors lined up, and eventually the price was paid, and now George finds himself in a Thunder uniform.
Kicks it out to Wiggins from the arc. It's hauled in by George. Thunder trailing by 21. Here's Grant. Hits the front of the rim and out.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And to many, the Thunder came out of nowhere to land George in that trade.
You know, most thought Cleveland or maybe Boston were the front runners for his services, but the Thunder snuck in and made their team a two-star squad once again. Very interesting to see how far the duo of Westbrook and George can go. And the feed from George couldn't be better. The timing, the placement, everything about that dish was pinpoint.
And Teague, here we go. Felton with some nice D. Oklahoma City's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Outside, George. Back to Felton. There's the pick. And there's George. That's good on the assist by Felton. George has got 7.
Got to give a ton of credit to the screener there. That was a perfect pick to give his teammate the space to knock down the shot.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Karl Anthony Towns was voted by GMs last season as the player they most want to build a franchise around. But he is not resting on his laurels. He said, I work hard on my game. I want to be the strongest player, the most intelligent player, and the most skilled player on the court at all times. Kevin?
Thanks, David. That work ethic will definitely help Towns get better. He's already a dynamite player. 1:44 left in the third quarter. Inside. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one is on Towns.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Oklahoma City shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
And a season ago, they hit about 75% of their free throws. And watching Jimmy Butler, He just offers so much on offense from a scoring standpoint. You know, obviously he can get to the rack and draw the defense to him. Also really improved his ability to knock it down from beyond. Just a complete offensive player.
And now the Timberwolves on the break. Here's George's Hunt, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points. Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
For Oklahoma City, they have shot 75% at the stripe, 6 of 8.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
Minnesota leading by 17. And stolen by Felton. And now a fast break for the Thunder. Abrinas with the bucket. Abrinas has got 7 points here in this quarter.
He really takes off, just never looks back.
Yeah, by the time anyone even thinks of chasing him, he's gone.
And the Timberwolves, a team that is evolving how you imagine they would with Tibbs running things here. Deliberate approach on both ends of the floor and really looking to dominate the rebounding margins.
And a new group in here for the Thunder. Adams, he's checked in for Patterson. Anthony comes in for Jeremy Grant. Corey Brewer's checked in for Alex Abrinas. And Russell Westbrook subbed in for Raymond Felton. And the rejection by Jang.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Just don't touch him right now, okay? You're going to burn yourself. The guy is on fire.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. There's 25 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. On the wing, Brewer. Westbrook up top, defended by Jones. And the rejection by Jang. So the Timberwolves call their first timeout.
Started.
And sometimes you just want a reminder of what our objectives are tonight.
Yeah, get everyone on the same page and point it in the right direction.
Now Crawford. Over Anthony. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Timberwolves lead by 19. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. Now let's hear what Coach Tom Thibodeau was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Defensively, make sure we're all getting rebounded.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. Timberwolves leading by 19. Butler teamed with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. Karl Anthony Towns is out there at violation, and it's Crawford at the point guard position. So that's the lineup for Minnesota.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Towns kicks to Crawford. They set the pick. Back to Towns. 6 on the shot clock. Towns is doubled. Over Grant. They get the rebound. Kicks it out to Crawford. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Crawford angling his body right into the contact. He doesn't mind slithering his way in there.
And Brent, 14 years in the NBA, you spent about half your time on the defensive end. Of all the guys you were matched up against, who was surprisingly difficult to cover.
It's funny, Kevin, because a lot of coaches would tell you I did not spend half of my time on the defensive end. Lightning.
That was incredible.
You have got to be kidding.
Hey, talk about taking things into your own hands.
Man, that's a tough call for the refs to make there. I'm not sure it was on the way down, but that's how they saw it.
Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Kicks it out to Wiggins. Bielitsa passes it to Crawford. There's a good screen. Throws it up high. Stolen by Grant. Here's Abrinas. And that one comes up a bit short.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Wiggins kicks to Crawford. Moves back up. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. Wiggins has got 3 assists in the game. Double team on Westbrook. And George, here we go. And the rejection by Towns. Crawford outside. Clock at 6. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And they're drawing more whistles and working their way to the line here in the second half.
Well, he's putting his game right in the face of the defense right now and just driving into the paint to get contact.
Well, one thing the Thunder have always done well is control the glass. Good rebounding team.
Well, the Thunder are great candidates to end up near the top for both offensive and defensive rebounds, and it certainly helps when Russell Westbrook is tearing down over 10 boards a game. It's a complete effort with this ball club, and they have guys who are willing to stick their nose in there.
Abrinas kicks to Anthony. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Not a stellar first half, but he's become an absolute machine scoring the ball in the second.
Well, you could feel the clock ticking for Melo's time in New York, and this offseason, it finally ended, Greg.
Yeah, and for a team like this to add Melo to the mix, what a blessing. I mean, Melo still has a ton of offense to offer, and hard to add a player so skilled as Melo for practically nothing. Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not there offensively.
Jeremy Grant, some change in the couch here, finding some offensive rhythm for the team.
Back to Crawford. Takes a 3. Thunder with the rebound.
Well, he got off to a terrific start from the perimeter, but in the second half, he can't seem to build on that early success.
Abrinas the pass to George. Stolen away. Towns wide open. And Westbrook pulls it down. Westbrook's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
Well, the D looks like they're laying off just a little bit. He made 1 3 in the first half, but they're still daring him to shoot, and he can't make them pay for it.
Picked off in midair. Out in his own on the break. Here's Butler. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
You just got to like how strong Butler goes when he's inside. Just terrific at figuring out ways to get to the line.
And, Greg, you wouldn't expect it from a Coach Thibodeau team, but defense was an issue for the Timberwolves last year.
And the Wolves brought in Butler to help with offense, but more importantly, his defense. And Butler, familiar with what Thibs likes to do on both ends of the floor, has the leadership the team needs, particularly on the defensive end.
Minnesota leading by 19. Here's Wiggins. He dishes it to Towns. And it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession here. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. And George kicks to Grant. And the dunk by Grant.
Trust me, defense wants to keep Grant out of the paint, and he wants to get in there. That's why.
And the dunk by Towns.
We talk so much about accurate shooting. Sometimes accurate passing can lead to great shooting. You saw it there.
And Jeremy Grant, a member of the great Grant family line that has had so many NBA players.
Well, I played with his uncle Horace in Seattle, and the thing that I like about Grant is there's just nothing in terms of nonsense when he has the ball. It's straight line drives right to the rim, and he's coming down hard around the rim. Just like to see the defense get more aggressive. They are asking for trouble as they're giving up open looks to this point.
And that one falls for Jamal Crawford.
And team-wide, they've been terrific from the line here. Just one of those nights when the confidence has spread from one player to the next.
Now, for the Thunder last season, the first one in the AD era, that stands for after Durant, you can imagine just how devastating his departure was for the fans of the franchise. But I think Sam Presti, as the general manager, prepared themselves for Kevin Durant leaving and for Russell Westbrook to assume the reins of the team. And I like that recognition, effortlessly getting his teammate the ball in a spot where he knows he can do something with it.
1:41 left to play in the final quarter. Makes it off the glass. Crawford's got 39. And with OKC, as long as this team has been in this city, they have known success as a franchise.
Part of the fear that losing KD in free agency was that the success was going to go with them. But on the shoulders of Russell Westbrook having an historic NBA season, averaging a triple-double, Billy Donovan got these guys to play pretty hard, ended up being in the playoffs, and now have young guys that maybe could show some potential to maintain a level of success this fan base is used to.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Timberwolves.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Jamal Crawford.
He painted a great picture on the offensive end with the ball movement tonight. Really racked up some assists and had some pretty sweet passes to go along with it.
The shot, no good. Some solid defense from Grant. Westbrook with a wide open look. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Westbrook against Crawford. Towns, a screen on Westbrook. They get the rebound. Crawford kicks to Butler. Crawford against Westbrook. Crawford dishes to Towns. Pass to Crawford. Second shot opportunity. The rebound by Grant. So it's Minnesota winning this one easily. They won this game going away. David, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Brent Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports